Welcome, everyone, to Conversations Different, the New Mexicans weekly podcast focusing on interesting people and issues. Like people across the globe, we are preparing for the holiday season here in Santa Fe. It is a magical time. But enjoying all the entertainment and cultural offerings from Thanksgiving to New Year's can be overwhelming. Here to help us make our holiday plans is Carolyn Graham, editor for Pasatiempo, the New Mexicans weekly arts and entertainment magazine. Carolyn, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, it was a big walk across the building to get here.
It was. Yeah, I'm out of breath.
I know it's hard. I appreciate you taking the time because I know how busy it is for you.
It's always busy over on my side, as it is in the other parts of the newsroom.
That's right. What is your favorite part of a Santa Fe Christmas, holiday, Hanukkah season?
Gosh, where do you even begin? There's so much happening in the arts world, and Santa Fe is just it. We have an amazing summer, and there's so much back-to-back stuff that happens. But then winter, you would think it would be a little more low-key, but the city really comes to life. And the weather and the piñon smoke in the air and everything, it just comes together for just a storybook sort of experience in Santa Fe.
Now, it's one of those times where they have those lists, the best places to spend Christmas, and I always tell people we're always at the top of that list, and there's a reason.
That's right. It's very cozy, very fun.
Yeah. So when you are here and you live here, sometimes you take it for granted, and if you're new here, you don't know all the things that you can do. How do people make their plans? What can they learn, let's say, looking at Pasatiempo or looking around the city? How do you even pick?
Right. How do you even pick? Like I said, there's just so much that goes on year-round, and we see a big influx of things happening in Santa Fe. There's always the traditional kinds of things, like the Nutcracker and Handel's Messiah and those kinds of experiences. And then this year, there's some fun things that are sort of popping up that we're learning about now while we're putting those issues together. And and if I can sort of indulge a little bit of my journalistic recommendations, I really pick up Pasatiempo in print. We can always find this stuff online, but it's just such a great experience to flip through the magazine and kind of find the things that you want to experience just by taking a little trip through the magazine.
Yep, I think that's really smart because you come out on a Friday and that's for the week ahead. So if you sit down with it for 15, 20 minutes, especially going through the calendar, I'm not talking about reading the stories. That takes longer because, those are good, lovely stories. But just looking at the calendar, you can say, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this. And you also have a section saying upcoming. So you can plan a little bit further out, can't you?
Yes, that's exactly right. Our front section of the book is called Out There. And a lot of those things are like a little bit of extra information about some of these events that are kind of worth spotlighting. So we put those in the front part, and those can be anything from, food events and a lot of our great cocktail and brewery types of places, and then Q&As and those kinds of things. So it's a little different approach. And then, like you said, there's kind of the longer stories that go a little deeper. And then the calendar is organized so beautifully. The first part is the weekly planner. So you go, Monday, or I guess Friday, Saturday.
Right.
Starting on Friday, ending on Thursday. And then that's broken down further by what's on stage, what's an exhibit, what's opening, those kinds of things.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different things. I know one time we spent the Saturday a couple of weeks before Christmas, and I always go to the Indian fair at the Santa Fe Indian School, the crafts fair, because you can find all sorts of great deals. I try to go to winter market, whether it's Spanish market or Indian market, because again, you can buy a really wonderful presents. But for some reason, we stopped at Who's Donuts, and they were having a Christmas concert, in the middle of the day at the donut shop, and it was really, really good.
Oh.
And it was just such a surprise, and that's what I tell people is to look for the surprises.
Yes, that's a really good point, and I would say our calendar listing is full of those. I don't always get to do these things, but I like to write down the things that I see in the calendar that I might want to go check out, and explore, and sometimes all those things happen at the same time.
Yes, it's always that way, isn't it?
So it's hard. But write down the stuff you want to do and then try to do it.
Yeah.
And yes, there's tons of surprises, lots of cool things.
Well, and I tell people that, there's the things that you pay for. Because like then you go get a ticket to go to the Nutcracker, or you get a ticket to the New Year's Eve, concert that they always have. But a lot of things like the tree lighting, the Christmas Eve farolito walk, those are things that are community-based, that don't cost anything, and that your family will enjoy.
That's exactly right. And we list all of those things, steep to cheap. There are the things that I think people, especially families, who either live here or come to visit, like to establish those fun traditions. Like we go to the Nutcracker every year, or we go to a special Santa Claus tea, or whatever that is. And a lot of those things, like you said, are free and very accessible.
Yeah, we used to go to Christmas at the Palace every year, and my son got to meet St. Nicholas, and it was back in the day when mall Santas tended to get arrested, so he never sat in Santa's lap, but he did meet St. Nicholas, and that was fun. And I love when they do the posadas on the plaza, because that'll happen again in December. Watch for the listing, and the people who know what it is know the words and can sing Vamos Todos a Belén, and other people are like, what's going on? But they all enjoy it.
Yeah, those are the best. Those things that happen every year that we can experience over and over and build memories from those.
That's right. And you say, well, last year they did this or they didn't do this. And we even have a menorah lighting on our plaza. So that's, we're multicultural here. We do lots of things. So,
yes. And we will be covering both of those and anything else that we can find that how other cultures celebrate the holidays. We love to include those things.
And I know, like tribal dances, a lot of times people don't necessarily know about them, and sometimes you have to be invited. And a lot of the Christmas dances, though, are open. And I don't know if those are listed in PASA, but I know they will be in Feliz Navidad, which is a magazine the paper does. And for anyone who's never been to a pueblo Christmas Eve or Christmas, that's really something to really cherish and hold close.
Yes, those events are very special, very unique to our area. And yes, we do try to include those.
Yeah, that's wonderful. What I always tell people is in Santa Fe at Christmas, it's dark, but it's really light, because people are going to have fires everywhere you go. And with that, we'll be back in a moment with Conversations Different.
Thanks, Inez. This is Patrick Dorsey, publisher of the Santa Fe New Mexican. We hope you're enjoying this episode of Conversations Different with Inez Russell Gomez. Great local content is only possible with a talented staff dedicated to bringing you the best local content possible. For that staff to do its work, we need your support by subscribing to the Santa Fe New Mexican. If you're already a subscriber, thank you. And if not, there's never been a better time to subscribe. In addition to our home-delivered newspaper that comes with full digital access, we also provide digital-only subscriptions for SantaFeNewMexican.com. We'll also be releasing more online-only audio and video programming moving forward. The Santa Fe New Mexican has been here for nearly 175 years, and we want to continue being your source for local news and information. Visit us at SantaFeNewMexican.com/subscribe or call us at 505-986-3010. Thank you.
It's a new day in New Mexico, and the doors to boundless opportunity are open as tens of thousands of New Mexicans reach higher to pursue a dream, broaden their horizons, and retrain for a better job. With the New Mexico Lottery and Opportunity Scholarships, you could build yourself a better future anywhere in the state. You put in the hard work, we'll help with the costs. For eligibility details, visit reachhighernm.com.
We're back with Carolyn Graham, who edits Pasatiempo, the New Mexican's weekly arts, entertainment, and culture magazine. I'm going to put you on the spot, Carolyn.
Uh-oh.
What do you do? What are your traditions at Christmas?
Ooh, so every once in a while we leave town, so I'll say that. This year, though, is one of the years we will be at home. We have gone and cut down a tree in the past, and that's always a fun thing to do. But really, we just kind of huddle up and watch movies and, open gifts and do lots of cooking and just be together.
Yeah, that's really the whole part of the holidays is to be together and to spend time with the family and hopefully, take enough walks so that you don't kill each other.
That's a very important thing. And fortunately, we live in an area where there's an arroyo. So we take a walk right after dinner and then, we get to stretch out and take a little time away from each other. I think you're right. That's important too.
A few Christmases ago, we had a wonderful family time, and then I told everybody, be quiet, leave. The Bridgerton series debuts today, and I am going in my room, and I will not emerge. And I don't think they saw me for like a day and a half, but it was perfect. And not every Christmas is a TV event.
Yeah, isn't it nice to have that time, though, to just be home and doing things like that? And we try to also include those kinds of opportunities in Pasatiempo as well. We cover new releases. We cover streaming. This year, we took a little survey of some of our staff here at the New Mexican and Pasatiempo and just asked each other, what are your favorite things to binge? And sometimes it's the same thing that you want to see over and over, and sometimes there's some new stuff coming up that debuts. So,
some people want to watch It's a Wonderful Life every single year, or The Christmas Story, and it makes them happy.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's good memories for all of us.
When I was in graduate school, I went to school in Washington, D.C., and it was too expensive to come home for Thanksgiving. So one of my friends took me to visit her relatives in Delaware. And we went, and it was very strange because they were not my family, and I was homesick. But I didn't know that people went to the movies on holidays. And we all went to see Trains, Planes, and Automobiles at the movies, which was a great movie.
That's a good one.
It was a good one, but I was like, people leave their houses? I did not realize they did that. And I'm sure there will be a huge Christmas movie this year, and people will leave someone to do the dishes and go out and watch it.
Yeah, and I think we, as Santa Feans, our weather makes us not want to leave the house. Yeah. So I think we live in a great time where we get to stream stuff and we can dial up anything we want, pretty much.
Yeah, that's one of the things that kind of made the pandemic livable is you could go to school online, you could watch movies online, you could talk to your friends on Zoom, and you didn't feel as isolated as you otherwise might.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Yeah.
But part of the whole holiday season, whether you are a pagan or a Christian or not religious at all, or whatever you celebrate, is that we get together and we build community. And people have talked about being lonesome now.
Right.
And when you're on the plaza with everybody, pretending that the devil is going to come get you or that Jesus can't find, I guess they got rid of the devil, but in the olden days when they had it.
Right.
It really it's so much fun to see your friends and see people you know.
That is a really cool thing about the plaza. And one of the things I love about living in Santa Fe is that it does become a gathering place for everyone, community, people who are visiting, whatever. And I even feel lucky just working this close to the plaza that we can just walk over there and you instantly feel there's people around, there's things happening. It's good. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's a nice energy. It always has it. And I think one of the things, and this is a hard one to do in a magazine, I think, because you're talking about performances, you're talking about, culture, but one of the huge parts of the holiday in Santa Fe, of course, is cooking.
Oh,
and,
yes.
Do you have a friend that you can make tamales with? Do you know how to make bizcochitos? And then you get in the big fight of whether you use lard or whether you use Crisco. And then you say, if it's not lard, it's not real, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so how do you bring that food atmosphere, and share that with people?
Right. We do have, we just started this past spring, a department called Comidas y Más, where we talk about various food aspects in Santa Fe. Recently, we did a story about the Greek families that have helped us preserve some of our northern New Mexico cuisine. We have a story coming up about tamales, and the the community aspect of that and the party atmosphere that often comes with that. But it has deep roots in Mexico and other places. And the way we do it is, of course, how we want to do it: lard and red chili pork and all of those things. But it's also great to learn about and maybe even experiment a little bit with some of the other. I know.
No.
Inez is shaking her head.
I had a sweet tamale once, and I've never recovered.
I agree, actually. Yeah. But it's good to know that those things exist and where they come from.
No, and I know for a time, half the family was vegetarian, and then for a time, one of them was vegan. And it is hard to find good vegan tamales, but you can do it.
Oh, yeah.
But it is hard. And even when I was a vegetarian, I always would eat a tamale, a red pork, because I like red pork. That's just, I've had good green chili chicken ones, but to me, a tamale is red pork. And man, once a year, that's the best meat you can have.
It really is. Yeah. And there's an important ratio there, too.
Yes.
The masa to pork ratio is extremely important. So we'll talk about all of those things in this tamale story coming up.
Oh, that'll be a lot of fun. That's my job when I have a friend who's a really good tamale maker, and she lets me come sometimes and help, but I can only spread the masa. That's the only job I get.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
they don't trust you with the meat? Okay.
No, they don't trust me with the meat. No, she makes the chili. She does that herself.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a reason. In our family, my mom made the empanaditas and her sister made the tamales. So that's what we did at home. And my job there was to fry them because I couldn't even do the crinkling of the corners right. But I haven't done them since I lost her. So one of these days I'm going to get the recipe out and see if I can even get close, because real empanaditas, if you do them right, have an incredible, wonderful taste.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you invite me when that happens. Yeah.
We'll see. Have to try them first.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of people, make them with fruit and stuff, but in northern New Mexico, we make them with meat, and they're sweet, and it's an interesting taste, and not everybody likes it, but I do.
Yeah. No, I'm on board with that for sure.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think about Santa Fe at Christmas, how still it is.
Yes. Especially if it's snowing. Or there's snow on the ground. It's there is no other place that has that sort of magic to it in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I totally agree. When I was away a lot, and I always wanted to be home at Christmas, and when I got to come back, it was something. I don't go away for Christmas if I can help it, because it's just, I had like 15 years gone. So I'm much happier here.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
And with that, we'll take another short break, and we'll be back with Carolyn Graham.
My name is Maria Jose Rodriguez Cadiz, and I am the Executive Director with Solace Sexual Assault Services. Our mission is to prevent sexual violence and empower survivors of sexual violence through restoring dignity, strength, and resiliency. For almost 51 years, Solace has reduced the impact of sexual violence. We do it by focusing on human rights, social justice, hope, and dignity. We believe survivors are experts in their own experiences and acknowledge that empowering them is crucial to their healing. Our advocacy, forensic interviewing, and therapy services are centered to their needs. Our sexual violence prevention programs in schools and community is just as important. Please check our website at findsolace.org. And if in need, you can call our 24/7 hotline, which is 800-721-7273. Your support is crucial to the lives of survivors. Thank you. Gracias.
We are back with Conversations Different, and I am talking to Carolyn Graham, editor of Pasatiempo, the New Mexican's weekly arts and entertainment and culture magazine. And we are trying to help everyone in Santa Fe have a hassle-free Christmas where they get to plan all of their holiday events without too much stress.
Exactly.
And one tradition that causes you stress, but is a lot of fun, is every year the Pasatiempo has a writing contest.
That is right.
And it's going to be published again this year. And what will people expect?
Yes, it's coming out in our December 22nd issue, just the Friday before Christmas, so that everyone has a chance to curl up by their fire or their, tree or whatever, and just read all the amazing winners of this year's contest. I've been really blown away by, and this is the first year, obviously, as the new editor at Pasatiempo, quote unquote new. This is my first writing contest, and I really am impressed. And I'm not just saying that. I am really impressed by the entries. They're blowing me away.
And we used to help judge it some years. The staff did. And I think you guys have like actual judges this time.
Right. Yeah. So we on staff, the two staff writers, Brian and Spencer, and myself, are kind of narrowing down and, getting a good stack that we can send on to our big name judges. And we have judges in poetry and nonfiction, fiction, news writing. And this year we're also selecting a grand prize sort of overall winner to take a big prize. So it's going to be a really difficult job for them to pick.
Oh, that's nice. Do you still have a young person's category for teenagers or whatever?
Mm-hmm. We don't really have a category designated, but we are, the contest is open to writers who are age 12 and older. And we've gotten a ton of entries from youth writers. And we will be selecting, special merits in all the different categories for those writers.
I used to like to judge I think they even had elementary school at one time. They were young, and I mainly liked that because they were really short.
Yeah.
But they were good. I mean, the thing that you're saying about how incredible the writing is, I mean, obviously Santa Fe is a place where people read, which is why the paper still exists and we still have jobs.
Yes.
But they communicate beautifully in words, and it's always fun.
Yeah. Well, and it's just in general such a creative community that I think, being writers is a natural extension of our very creative stock that we have living here.
Yeah, I think that's true. I always tell people that the New Mexican as it is would not exist in most towns, and Pasatiempo wouldn't exist.
Right.
I mean, there's papers 5 times our size that don't have an arts and entertainment magazine like
that
we
is
do.
Right. Yeah. I feel really fortunate. And I think part of that is because we have such a rich arts opportunities. Like there's just everything here. And since I am relatively new and have started to really explore all of the spaces for visual arts and performing arts and all of those things, you literally cannot trip down the sidewalk without hitting some shop, gallery, something that's worth exploring. And I think by whatever the other side of that equation is, our community here is very receptive, and they both exist because of the other.
Yeah, no. We used to get letters to the editor complaining if there was one chili wrong on a movie. I mean, people took it so personally.
Right.
And what I think is that the culture is there, the art is there, and then the coverage just helps that thrive. So there's a symbiotic relationship between the magazine and the community.
Yes. We exist to ferret out all of the cool stuff that's happening and try to, in some sense, curate or at least help elevate these things so people know about it and can go see it or experience it.
Yeah, I think I'll have to have you back at some point because I want to do a show on theater because I think the theater expansion in the last couple of years has been one of the big art stories in Santa Fe and something. I mean, I get to go see musical theater now.
Yes, isn't that exciting?
Oh, it's been fun.
Yes.
The kids that my son went to kindergarten with are now all grown up and singing, and I'm just like, there they are.
Aww.
And it's so much fun, and they're really good.
Yeah,
the quality is amazing.
It really is, and I've seen that growth just since I started in the spring.
Yep.
All these different There's some new theater groups that are coming up, and just the level of professionalism.
No, it's amazing. Santa Fe Playhouse is going to do a play from the Pueblo Revolt next year by a local playwright, Dylan Chitto. And I'm just like, I know him from church. So I'm just
really?
oh my gosh, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yes.
So we have so much to look forward to in the new year, and we'll have you back to talk about arts and entertainment.
I would love it.
Yeah.
Anytime. Yeah.
This has been another Conversations Different, and happy holidays to everybody. Find us at SantaFeNewMexican.com or wherever you listen to your podcast.